Today, I want to talk about the topic of love bombing, because I think this is something really important. I think a lot of people fear love bombing, or like when they're getting to know somebody, how do you differentiate like if this person is genuinely interested in you or not? So that's something I want to talk about today, as well as the topic of having your wants and needs being met, because somebody put a comment on my channel discussing this, and I just want to reiterate like the point of my channel and where your focus really needs to go when I'm talking about these topics. But let's talk about love bombing, because I think this is a really valid topic and concern that a lot of people have, especially when you're getting to know somebody. And so in my own approach, I want to just discuss how I kind of handle these things as somebody that's done, a pretty relevant amount of mindset work on themselves. Okay. Not to toot my own horn, but you know, I think one thing is that like you have to understand when you're getting to know somebody, of course they're going to be affectionate with you. Of course, they're going to express interest in you. And of course, they should be complimenting you and telling you how beautiful you are. Now, I think when it comes to differentiating genuine interest from somebody that is healthy and somebody that is just using love bombing as a manipulation tactic is how the evolution of it progresses. And so, one thing that I want to say when it comes to love bombing is a really good way to tell if somebody is genuine with you is whether or not they respect your boundaries and whether or not they're trying to rush into something. So on my channel, I've always talked about like there's no need to rush. You should take a slow burn when you normalize creating the relationships that you desire and you normalize getting what you want. You're not going to force or manipulate anything. And you're going to be in a position where you don't attach very quickly, which allows for you to really observe somebody and see like, is who they're presenting themselves to be actually who they are over time. And the reason why I bring up like boundaries and rushing is because when somebody is love bombing in a manipulative manner, they're going to be attempt to become very enmeshed with you very quickly. So they're going to disregard your personal and private time, and they're going to want to spend a lot of time with you consistently. They're going to show up unannounced. They're just going to be crossing boundaries, and it's supposed to come off as sweet and endearing, showing interest, but you have to really think about these things at the beginning and what they could indicate on the bigger scale of things, right? In the bigger picture of everything. So if at the beginning you're showing a lot of interest in me, but you're not respecting my boundaries, you're not respecting my private time, and you're trying to enmesh yourself in my life, and you're not allowing me to entertain anything else, that's probably indicative that as the relationship progresses, you're equally going to struggle with boundaries, or you're going to put me into a position where you expect me to spend all of my time with you in an unhealthy manner. The other component to this as well too is rushing into things. And so in my opinion, when somebody is love bombing you in a way that is disingenuine, they're going to be talking about things like marriage very quickly. They're going to be trying to rush you into a relationship. They're going to be telling you like, obviously they have no eyes for anybody else. I think that's kind of a regular thing when you're getting to know somebody, but they are way, 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 way too quick to get to the commitment. All right. And so for you, anybody that's listening to this, I mean, when you're in a healthy self-concept, of course, we're normalizing receiving commitment. So it's not going to be a surprise that somebody wants to be in a committed relationship with you. But again, we have to really discern these things very accurately. And that's where you really need to listen to yourself when somebody is trying to rush something way too quickly. Because I want you to, again, think about that. How sustainable is this on the macro scale? So you're just getting to know me, you're overcrossing my boundaries, and you're trying to rush into something. Like, is this actually genuine for you? Right? Like, what is the rush going on here? Are you actually interested in me as an individual, or are you infatuated with something about me, an idea of me, an image of me, or whatever it may be, and you're not actually taking the time to get to know me? That's a problem. And so when it comes to love bombing, again, in my opinion, the things that are going to serve as like red flags is when somebody is disrespectful of your personal and private time, they're way too overt in their interests, and they're trying to rush you into a commitment. That's just my opinion, okay? Now, I want to bring up this point because when you're with somebody that is emotionally available and healthy, they're going to be consistently displaying attraction towards you and reaffirming how interested they are in you. But typically, what that looks like is, yeah, saying things like, I have eyes for only you, I really like you, you're so beautiful, I could see a relationship with you. But at the same time, they're also attempting to genuinely get to know you. What are your interests? What are your likes? How do you normally like spend your time? They don't try to force themselves onto you. They take you into consideration and want to attempt to build a life with you while respecting your privacy, your private time, and the other things that you have going on in your life. It's a very, very, very slow burn. So that, in my opinion, is how you can differentiate between whether or not somebody is love bombing you or they're actually just genuinely interested in you, want to get to know you, and have a high level of attraction to you, which is what you deserve. You deserve somebody to be sending you flowers, sending you good morning texts, sending you good night texts, telling you sweet things. But at the same time, there's a level of intimacy in the approach that indicates that somebody is trying to actually get to know you. They're not just trying to get you into a relationship, they're trying to actually see, do we share similar values? Do we share similar goals? They respect your boundaries, they respect your private time. They find a way to fit you into their schedule in a way that works for both of you. There's no rush, is essentially what I'm trying to say here. And so, in my opinion, we need to normalize somebody being affectionate and interested in us while at the same time remaining aware of when it's too much too soon. And in my opinion, if somebody is coming on to you too quickly, it's too much, it's too soon, and it's more like love bombing in a manipulative manner, that's where you need to take a whole step back, okay? Because it's not cute, okay? Like, yes, you're amazing. Yes, you deserve commitment. Yes, you deserve somebody to be fully interested in you. But again, if they have no boundaries and they're just trying to rush you into commitment and they don't even know who you actually are, how sustainable is that? They're just infatuated with an idea of you, and you're getting into a relationship for something that is sustainable. So if the approach at the beginning is unsustainable and rushed, that's a huge indication of probably what the relationship is going to look like. Unsustainable, rushed, not thought through, again, lack of boundaries, confusion, because there was no actual foundation built initially. All right. The other thing that I want to talk about today is your wants and needs being met. Somebody wrote a comment like, how can somebody else meet our wants and needs in a relationship if those are things that we have to do? On my channel, I'm really talking about bringing a focus to yourself. So you can only be present in a relationship with another person to the degree that you're present with yourself, which means you need to cultivate an identity with yourself that is healthy and diversified. You do meet your own needs and wants. You're emotionally available. You're diversifying your time. You're building a belief system that is healthy and congruent with the things you're creating within your life. And when something is healthy and congruent, it's not highly valued. So I've done content before about establishing healthy routines and taking care of yourself. Meeting your wants and needs means you're going to meet your physical wants and needs, your emotional wants and needs, your social wants and needs, right? All these things in which we can take care of ourselves, which when we're actually doing that, we're diversifying our time. We're emotionally fulfilled. We're happy because we have routines that ground us. We have a social life that is fulfilling and a supportive friend group, and we have a healthy relationship with ourselves. That means when we go into a relationship, because we've already established a relationship with ourselves where we're meeting our own wants and needs, we can experience that same level of intimacy and closeness with another person because we're not going to be chasing for it from somebody. You're going to be able to take into a relationship who you are, right? Instead of going into a relationship unfulfilled and expecting somebody to meet your wants and needs, you're already fulfilled and ideally choosing to be with somebody that is equally as fulfilled. And then you both can bring into the relationship a level of stability and meeting of each other's wants and needs because you're each individually doing that for yourselves. And that's where you're able to create a very balanced relationship. Again, nobody to change but self. So when you're thinking about applying these things and creating changes within your life, that's why I say there's nothing to wait for. Because if you're sitting here waiting for somebody to meet your wants and needs, but you're not taking care of yourself, you're not taking care of your mental health, you're not taking care of your body, you're not diversifying your time, you don't have a healthy social life, and you're just isolating every single day, you're only going to, if you're operating that way, most likely you're only going to get in very toxic, enmeshed, codependent, unfulfilling relationships because you're already operating from a stance within yourself that is unfulfilled. But you can change that at any moment, right? Even after this video is done, you can make the decision, you know what? I don't have to wait for a person to be happy. I don't have to wait for a person to be emotionally fulfilled. I can sit and deal with my emotions. I can build healthy routines that build me up, that fulfill me. I can diversify my time and build a healthy social life. There's nothing to wait for. And then when you actually do that, it's so highly attractive that you're going to naturally come into the circumstances to create a very loving relationship where somebody meets you where you are. Instead of trying to find something or chase after something, you become the change you want to experience. Okay, so these are the things I wanted to talk about today. Again, the love bombing topic, I just really felt like that's necessary to talk about because so many people are fearful of love bombing. And you shouldn't, I mean, you deserve loving, affectionate, consistent attention when you're first getting to meet somebody. But I think, again, we just have to make sure it's balanced. You don't want to be in a space where like you don't trust anybody and any form of attention or affection that you get from somebody, you're fearing that it's them love bombing you. You want to have healthy beliefs where you can build trust with the right people, but also be discerning enough to see, this is a little bit too much. You're not respecting my boundaries. You're trying to rush into this way too quickly. You're not taking the time to actually get to know me. This isn't sustainable. I don't think this is cute. No, thank you. That's how you want to be operating. Okay? All right. I love you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful day, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are, and I'll see you all later. Bye.